So, the big block engine purchase. Funny story. Chad bought that without consulting with me, I suppose. And Nate came into work that day and said that he posted his Bronco for sale.
To the millions of fans of Bad Chad Customs, she was the pillar of strength. The powerhouse manager who could negotiate a deal with the Discovery Channel, manage a chaotic film crew, source impossible parts, and still grab a wrench to help finish a build. On screen, Jolene Macintyre was the unflappable partner to the creative genius of Bad Chad Hiltz, the business brain who turned a small-town garage into a global phenomenon. She was the anchor that kept the beautiful, creative chaos from spinning, completely out of control. But while the cameras captured the success, they missed the silent, heartbreaking battle she was fighting off-screen. Few could have imagined the true weight on her shoulders because as Bad Chad Customs was capturing the world's attention, the woman holding it all together was facing a tragedy so profound it would test her in ways a television show never could, and push the empire she built to the very brink. This isn't just a story about cars. It's the story of a daughter's profound loss, a partner's unwavering loyalty, and the incredible resilience she found in the wake of it all. To understand the depth of Jolene's struggle, you first have to understand just how essential she was to the entire Bad Chad Customs enterprise. She wasn't just a supportive fiancé who appeared on camera. She was the architect of the brand. Chad Hiltz has always been the first to admit it. He's the mad genius, the artist who can see a masterpiece in a pile of scrap. But Jolene is the one who takes that genius and builds a sustainable empire around it. Her journey didn't start in a garage. Born in 1989 in the quiet town of Centerville, Nova Scotia, Jolene grew up in a close-knit community that instilled the values of hard work and perseverance. Her early passions weren't automotive, but athletic and academic. She was a star soccer player in college, a midfielder for the St. Mary's University Huskies, a role that honed her discipline and sense of teamwork under pressure. This competitive drive was matched by a sharp intellect. Jolene earned a Bachelor of Commerce with a major in finance, arming herself with the strategic planning skills that would become the bedrock of Hiltz Auto Co. before the world knew her. From television, Jolene worked multiple jobs to support herself, from supervising at a golf resort to waiting tables. It was near a local pool hall at the annual Rockabilly Weekend Car Show that her life took a sharp turn. She met Chad Hiltz. It wasn't exactly love at first sight. Jolene, a recent graduate with her own passion for cars, was first drawn to Chad's incredible craftsmanship. But his persistence and their shared, all-consuming love for automobiles sparked a powerful partnership in both life and business. When they met, Chad was working out of a small shop known as Green Goblin Customs. He had the raw talent, but Jolene saw the potential for so much more. She didn't just join his business, she fundamentally transformed it. As business manager, she took the reins and became the driving force behind its growth. It was Jolene who handled the crucial name change to Hiltz Auto Co. after the Green Goblin name ran into licensing issues. She wore every hat imaginable, managing daily operations, handling budgets, negotiating with suppliers, coordinating with TV crews, running social media, and building the brand's public image from the ground up. The move to television was a direct result of her vision. When Chad decided to build Jolene an audacious gift, a replica of a $40 million Bugatti from a 1934 Chevy chassis, she knew the world had to see it. She started filming the process and posting weekly updates online. The videos exploded, catching the eye of production companies, and when the Discovery Channel came knocking, it was Jolene at the negotiating table, making sure the deal was right for them. She was the one who turned Chad's garage into a television studio. On the show, viewers saw glimpses of her importance, but those moments were just the tip of the iceberg. Behind every build was Jolene, holding it all together long before the real storm arrived. Even before the family tragedy that would redefine her life, the pressure of the empire she helped build was taking a heavy toll. The success of Bad Chad. Customs was a double-edged sword. It brought fame, but it also brought a level of stress that was becoming suffocating. Jolene was fighting a war on two fronts. The first was the relentless chaos of running a business and a television show simultaneously. The lines between her personal and professional life with Chad blurred completely. Arguments over budgets and deadlines were common, and as the one responsible for keeping things on track, she often felt like the bad guy. The pressure mounted to a breaking point. The workload was immense, and the personal sacrifices were piling up. The strain became so intense that Jolene came perilously close to walking away from it all. She had to seriously consider leaving the dream behind, not because she stopped believing in it, but because she wasn't sure she could survive the burnout. She had a frank conversation with Chad, laying bare the toll it had taken on her. It was a stark warning sign that the pillar of strength was cracking under an invisible weight. And then, just as she was navigating that professional crisis, her world was shattered by a far more devastating blow. In late 2024, Jolene entered the darkest period of her life. Her mother, Jolene Macintyre, her spiritual support and guiding light, was suddenly diagnosed with terminal stage 4 cancer. The diagnosis was a shock, and the disease progressed with cruel speed, leaving the family with only a few precious, heartbreaking weeks. Jackie McIntyre's obituary paints the picture of a woman who was the heart of her family, a devoted mother who was the voice of reason. For Jolene, her mother was her source of grace and strength, qualities that had clearly shaped the woman she would become. During those final gut-wrenching days, Jolene lived a double life. By day, she was the capable manager at Hiltz Auto, keeping the business running. In the moments between, she was a daughter, watching her mother slip away, grappling with an unimaginable grief. That moment was the hardest thing I've ever been through, Jolene later shared. It felt like everything I had was coming apart in my hands. On November 28, 2024, Jolene Macintyre passed away peacefully, surrounded by her family, leaving an irreplaceable void in Jolene's life. The grief was all-consuming. Projects were delayed, plans were changed, and the entire team felt the shift. The engine of Bad Chad Customs, the woman who kept everything moving, was now paralyzed by personal tragedy. As if that private hell wasn't enough, the internet began to churn with baseless rumors that Jolene had been in a serious accident. The rumors were completely false, adding a layer of cruel absurdity to her suffering. While mourning the deepest loss of her life, she was being subjected to the painful reality of being a public figure. Torn, she had to decide. Retreat from the world to heal, or fight to preserve the empire she and Chad had built together. Faced with an abyss of grief, Jolene Macintyre had a choice. She could have walked away, and no one would have blamed her. But the quiet resilience fans saw on screen was no act. It was a core part of her, forged on the soccer pitch in college and sharpened by her business education. Most of all, it was a reflection of her mother, Jackie, a woman she described as graceful, strong, and selfless. In the raw aftermath of her mother's passing, Jolene made the difficult decision to fight. "I was sure I had to keep going," she later stated. "Everything we had built would fall apart right in front of my eyes if I left." It was a choice born from a profound sense of loyalty, not just to the business, but to the dream she and Chad had nurtured from the very beginning. She didn't hide her pain. Instead, she shared her journey, transforming her grief into a source of connection. In a touching social media post, she wrote, "My mother was the most devoted woman, and I know she is still watching over me even when she is no longer physically present." Her words were a declaration that she would carry her mother's legacy forward. In a remarkable display of fortitude, she channeled her grief back into her work. "I think about my mom every day," she said in a video. "That gives me the motivation to not give up." Work became a way to build something positive from the wreckage. The tragedy irrevocably changed her. Before, her life was almost entirely consumed by work. Afterwards, she began to place a new emphasis on family and the precious, fleeting moments of life. But this didn't mean she was stepping back. In fact, her leadership became more focused than ever. She spearheaded the company's transition from a TV-centric brand to a digital powerhouse, taking direct control of their YouTube and Facebook channels and turning them into their primary platform, reaching tens of millions of viewers a month. Jolene drove new initiatives, like investing in a new showroom and merchandise store. She and Chad expanded their international presence, connecting with the global car community from Australia to Finland. She was at the helm of it all. It's crucial to state again that the persistent rumors of an accident are completely unsubstantiated. The tragedy Jolene faced was one of profound personal loss. Her battle has been one of the heart and mind, a struggle against grief she has faced with incredible grace. Today, Jolene Macintyre stands as a powerful symbol of resilience. The loss of her mother left an indelible mark, but it didn't break her. It forged her into a stronger, more purposeful leader. She continues to be the organizational backbone of Bad Chad Customs, navigating the darkest period of her life and emerging with a renewed sense of purpose. She has kept the empire from falling, not by ignoring her pain, but by building with it. Jolene Macintyre's journey is a powerful reminder of the strength of the human spirit. She was the woman behind the man, the business, brain behind the creative genius, but in the face of unimaginable loss, she became the hero of her own story. She faced personal tragedy and professional ruin and chose to build, transforming her heartbreak into a new foundation for the future. The empire of Bad Chad Customs didn't crumble because its pillar, though shaken, refused to fall. Jolene's story is more than a look behind the curtain of a reality TV show. It's a universal lesson in resilience and the quiet courage it takes to keep going when your world falls apart. She has proven that she is not just the manager of a custom car shop, but the architect of a legacy, one defined as much by her strength in the face of sorrow as by the incredible machines that roll out of her garage. Jolene Macintyre's story of resilience is truly inspiring. Show your support for her and the Bad Chad Customs team in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.